Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to another tag video. This is another one that's created by myself, Thomas. My name's Thomas, and HorrorFan34, and so I know I did the comedian tag, and some people are going to participate in that, so thank you very much for that. I actually would have fixed my camera a little bit. See if I can. Yeah, I think that's better. But I figured I'd do another tag video since I came off doing the comedian tag. So I figured for this one we're going to go to a different genre, and now this is going to be known as the action hero movie tag. So basically, what I did for this tag that I created, I chose 10 action stars, and for each of those 10 action stars, you got to choose your favorite action film that they did. Since we're strictly talking about action heroes, because we're action, you're going to choose your favorite action film that these 10 guys have done. Oh, actually, you know what? 11. Sorry. You know what? I almost forgot one. Hold on. Yeah, I completely forgot it was 11, sorry, so disregard that. So 11 action heroes that I chose, so not 10, 11. So I want to make sure I list every one of them in the box down below. So anyways, so let's get on to it. So I'm going to tag Sci-Fi Horror Guy Rob, Alex 2.0, Horrific Nightmares JM, Lisa, Sean, Bronco, Chucky Doll, and a few other people, whoever wanted to participate in this. So, hope you guys enjoy this, and here we go. So, the first action hero is Arnold. And you can probably tell what my favorite action film of Arnold is going to be. Because this is like a great mixture of like action and horror, and overall, it's just like my favorite Arnold film. End of Days. This is a great blend of like action mixed with horror, because Arnold versus the Devil with a machine gun. I mean, just a fantastic idea. Arnold was great in this. Love End of Days. Without a doubt, my favorite action film with Arnold in it. Next one is Sylvester Stallone. And for Stallone, my favorite action film of his is this, Cobra. Cobra is my favorite action film dealing with Stallone. Kind of like another one that's kind of like a mixture of action and horror in like the same movie. But I think Stallone does a great job as a great character. Lieutenant Cobretti. Directed by George P. Cosmatos, who did Rambo 2, Tombstone, among a few couple of other stuff. But Cobra, love Cobra. My favorite action film for the next one is Bruce Willis. My favorite action film with Bruce Willis is, without a doubt, Die Hard. I'm going to go with the first Die Hard as my favorite action film with Bruce Willis. I mean, what more can you say about the first Die Hard? I mean, what more can you say? Next, okay, let's see. Next is Jean-Claude Van Damme, number 4, and I chose Time Cop as my favorite action film with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's without a doubt my favorite Van Damme film, period. It's my favorite action film with Van Damme in it. I love Time Cop. Next one is Jason Statham. Surprisingly enough, I'm not going Transporter. I could easily go with the Transporter 1 and 2, Crank 2. I can go with The Mechanic. I mean, but surprisingly enough, I'm going to go with Cellular as my favorite like thriller action film, because it is an action film, but it's thriller as well. But I'm going to go with Cellular because it's a Jason Statham film that no one really remembers. Has Chris Evans in it well before Captain America. You also have William H. Macy in it as a cop. Basically, Kim Basinger gets kidnapped by Jason Statham and his group of guys, and she managed to contact him through this broken phone, and she reaches a cell phone who happens to be Chris Evans. And basically, Chris Evans has to save her, pretty much. It's a really underrated movie. So, I say my favorite Jason Statham film. I will say that. He's an awesome villain in that. Number 6 is Chuck Norris. My favorite Chuck Norris film is this, Code of Silence, for my favorite action film dealing with Chuck Norris. You have a great villain in Henry Silva, but for some reason I still can't get that Amazon Women on the Moon skit out of my mind. Still, bullshit or not. But Henry Silva does a great job as the villain. Directed by Andrew Davis, well before Fugitive and things like that. And I think this is Arnold was a big fan of Code of Silence, and that's why Andrew Davis was originally hired to do The Running Man, but then they got Paul Michael Glaser to do The Running Man. So originally when Andrew Davis was attached to The Running Man, Arnold was attached to that as well when Andrew Davis won aboard, because Arnold is a fan of this movie. So, but Code of Silence is great. Next one is Steven Seagal. My favorite Steven Seagal action film is Out for Justice. Without a doubt, my favorite action film was Seagal. Love Out for Justice. Next one is Dolph Lundgren. My favorite action film with Dolph Lundgren is this one, I Come in Peace, also known as Dark Angel, but pretty good buddy cop movie where it's like a sci-fi action movie. Directed by Craig R. Baxley, who did Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. He also did, I believe he did Action Jackson with Carl Weathers. But I love I Come in Peace. Next one is Harrison Ford. And speaking of that, my favorite action-like movie dealing with Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. Just a fantastic film in general. I love the bits of action. Love Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Kimball, who's trying to prove, I didn't kill my wife. Just such a great movie. Love The Fugitive. Next one is Mel Gibson. Getting down to the last two. My favorite action film with Mel Gibson is, without a doubt, Lethal Weapon. One of my personal favorite buddy cop films of all time. I think these two have wonderful chemistry with each other. Gary Busey as Mr. Joshua, directed by Richard Donner. I mean, what more can you say about the first Lethal Weapon that hasn't been said before? And the last one that I added in was number 11, Kurt Russell. And for Kurt Russell, my favorite film of his of all time is Big Trouble in Little China, because that is like an action, like comedy and fantasy like movie. I was trying to think of like more of like a strict action film that Kurt Russell was a part of, because Kurt Russell in a way is an action hero, breakdown and things like that. This is my favorite action film when it deals with Kurt Russell. I mean, I could have chose this for Stallone, but for Stallone I chose Cobra, and for Kurt Russell for action films I chose this, Tango and Cash. My favorite buddy cop flick. So there you have it. Those are all of my answers to this tag. So I hope you guys participate in this. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.